everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm Zombie Bones, but you can call me Victor. Today we're going to be taking part in Emma Artley's Pinterest OC Challenge. I have actually played around with this before, but I didn't make a video about it. I didn't save the speed paints or anything like that. So today I thought I would make a little video. I really like this challenge. Credit to inspiration obviously goes to Emma Artley. Check her out, she's amazing. I love her videos. I have watched all of them. So the first thing we have to do is randomly generate a time period, a setting, and then we have to go to Pinterest to look up that setting. First image is where they are. And then we have to look up a season on Pinterest to get the season we're going to be in. So before we start, I am making a couple of tweaks to this because what Emma did is she went onto different Pinterest accounts. I'm not going to do that. I don't feel like making multiple Pinterest accounts to constantly get violation notices from. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the first image on the first character, and then the second image, and then the third image. And then another thing is, if the first image or however many images, whatever image I'm on, is AI generated, I will be going to the next human-made image. Now that we have that out of the way, we can go ahead and jump in. So we're going to start with this random setting generator. I am going to generate 5 settings to choose from, just so I can choose one that I vibe with a little bit more. So we're just going to hit generate. Alright, we have, tornado and a charming bed and breakfast. A lively dance club, a peaceful wildlife sanctuary. Oh, hello, kitty. A flea market, and a sports stadium. So I think the one I'm going to go with is going to be this charming bed and breakfast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot that. Let's hit generate. And our year is 1985. Alright, now we're going to pop over to Pinterest. Alright, so we're on Pinterest. We're going to look up bed and breakfast. Oh, it's chugging. My computer is chugging. This is our first image. So this is what we're going with. This is really cute. I like the runner on the stairs. That's really nice. Season. Yep, so we're going to go with spring. Whenever it comes to this challenge, there are a few key places that we have to look. So first we have to get the character's gender using an album cover. Then we have to look for skin tones, body types, hair, outfit, shoes, accessories, and a color palette. So we're going to repeat that 3 times for each character, and then we're going to draw them. Starting with character number 1, let's look up an album cover. Okay, I got Evanescence Fallen for my first album cover. So that makes our first character a girl. Now we have to look up a skin tone. Yep, now we're going to look up skin to get a skin tone. It looks like this is. Okay. Actually, I'll do this. Copy image. So for the body type, I'm going to specify woman. And then we're going to look for the first image that is a singular person. This time. Alright, this is our first singular person. So now we've got to look up hair, and then we're going to add the year, 1985. Oh, I misspelled hair. Guys, I can't type. Did y'all know that? Okay, I'm pretty sure that's, from Heathers. I haven't seen the movie in forever, but that looks so familiar. So that is going to be our hair. So next we have to look up an outfit. Women outfit. 1985. This is our first choice. So we are going to copy image. Next we have shoes. Okay, all those are ads. I need shoes. Okay, those shoes are cute. I love those. Okay, so that's going to be our character's shoes. Now we have to look for accessories, so let's just look up women accessories 1985. The way that I misspelled accessories, I'm not fixing it. Pinterest knows what I want. Okay, so this is our first image. I see a lot of really nice chunky bracelets and statement earrings, so I'm going to try to incorporate both of those. And finally, we have to look up a color palette. So to do that, we just look up color palette. And the first image that is a singular color palette will be our character's image. Or color palette. Because as much as I would love options, we're not doing that. Maybe I'll do a color palette challenge next time. Like grab one of something like these and draw a character for a few of them. Now we have the images for all the first characters, and or the first character. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more rounds of that off screen, and then I'm gonna go draw them, and then yeah, this is gonna be such a fun video. Alright guys, so I've generated 2 other characters, making it a total of 3. And this is what we generated for each one. We will do them in order of how I generated them. As you saw earlier, we also got a bed and breakfast in the year 1985 for our setting, and because of the albums, we got 3 Lovely Ladies, we got an Evanescence album, a Lana Del Rey album, and the last album was a Billie Eilish album, so that's 3 women in a bed and breakfast in 1985, and I chose to place it in a small town in Texas. I love placing my stories in fictional, but adjacently real settings. And I also whipped up some lore. So as we're drawing these characters, you guys will be able to see the lore that I whipped up, as I tell you about it. So this is going to be like a little info dump session while I draw the characters associated with this setting. Woo! Once again, I would love to thank Emma Artley for this video idea. She has quickly become one of my favorite YouTubers, ever. So we're gonna start with our first character that we generated. I also randomly generated names for all 3 characters, and this one was Karen Brooks. She and the third character, who is named Beverly Duncan, own a bed and breakfast in Texas in 1985 named Star's Rest, after Star Brooks, Karen's late mother. They are best friends in the historical sense, if you know what I mean, and if you don't, that means they're lesbians and super gay for each other and they're so in love. Karen is a supposedly normal human woman whose dream is to have a family legacy to leave behind. Luckily for her, she wakes up one night to a beating on the front door to Star's Rest. Random fall winter night in 1975, where she rushes to open the door, assuming somebody's urgently looking for a room in the late hours. It's storming outside, so she's ready to let them in. She's got a couple of rooms open. But she is surprised to find a little girl who is around 6. This little girl is the second character I generated. Her name is Cynthia Harper. And after a few days, 2 or 3 maybe, Cynthia finally admits that she was left there by her parents. And Karen and Beverly decided to try to find them, but they were unable to. At least, that's what they told Cynthia. But in reality, they spoke to a local police officer who made a report, and they started a missing persons search, eventually finding the parents both hung in a tree by a lake, each with star-shaped birthmarks on their bodies, the mother having one on her sternum, right at the base of her sternum, and the father having one on the back of his neck, right above the point between his shoulder blades. And when summer rolled around, Cynthia stopped wearing jackets, obviously. It gets hot in Texas in the summer. She was wearing tank tops and shit, and they discovered that she also had a star-shaped birthmark on her arm. So Beverly, being a very studious and intelligent woman, decided, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the library. I'm gonna see if there's any information on this in any medical journals or something. So she's reading, and she eventually finds a children's book titled The Legend of Star Hollow, and in the book it detailed witches born under a full moon in a grove that was now destroyed with a subdivision over it, and she's like, this is weird. So she went and read some more actual local stuff, and she found super old shit that dated all the way back to the 1800s, and was oh, so these witches have been around for a long time. And so she tells Karen about this, and Karen reveals that she also has a star-shaped birthmark and that she has had one since she was born. Her star-shaped birthmark is like on her like inner thigh towards the top, which is why nobody ever really noticed it, including her girlfriend, pseudo-wife that she's not able to marry until later. And she is like, oh, so our kid's a witch, and I'm a witch, and my mom's Star was a witch. And also, like, side note, Star got her name from her star-shaped birthmark because her mother thought it was the cutest little thing that her father and, like, her husband and daughter had the same birthmark in the same exact place. She was like, oh, this is so cute, we're naming our daughter Star. Just want to add that in. Then, like, as time went on, Karen and, like, Beverly were trying to help Cynthia master her magic and train as a witch. She became pretty well versed in practical magic. Think, like, God, what was the name? It was this, like, show where this chick would, like, wiggle her nose, and it was how she, like, casted her spells. I don't remember what it was called. If you guys know, let me know in the comments, because, like, I distinctly remember this. Actually, I'm gonna Google it real quick. Okay, it was called Bewitched, and it aired in the 60s, it looks like. I was obsessed with that show when I was a kid. That show and Angel, which was a Buffy the Vampire Slayer spinoff. So that's why I remembered it so distinctly, and I had to find it. But anyways, I remember the character, like, using her magic to, like, clean and shit, and I feel like that's what Cynthia does. And she, like, goes to a normal high school in the 80s. She gets, like, normal high school stuff going on. Knowing me, she probably, like, fucking carries out, like, Stephen King's Carrie. I don't really know. I honestly don't have much of a story for them at the moment, but I might develop them into more. But I'm really happy with the characters that came out of this one. My next video should be a bit longer, but I'm not sure if I want to upload 2 Emma Artley challenge videos back to back, because the longer one I've been working on is Emma Artley's background challenge. I think my next video I might actually do a, like, top 5 ways that I create a new OC, or, like, how I design my Stona, just, like, character design advice, because character design is a giant passion of mine. I study a lot of concept art and watch how it changes, why it changes. My favorite thing to do in video games, like, I have Resident Evil 4 Deluxe Edition, or, like, Deluxe Gold Edition or whatever, and every single time that I get completion points, I run to the bonus shop to spend my completion points on concept art. So I really like character and environmental design stuff, so I might make a video about how I design original characters, and maybe a video about my process on designing the characters for my comic when I have all the main characters designed, because I don't have that yet. Though I am working on a series about creating my comic, so stay tuned for that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, but before we go, I do want to acknowledge one more thing. A comment on my last video said that I was drawing fan art of the AI art that I was using for the video, and that it was a roundabout way of getting a free commission for me, and I understand this grievance and would like to apologize for coming across that way. I do kind of disagree with the sentiment that I was creating fan art for it, or that it was a quote-unquote free commission for me, because I did change the designs pretty heavily, because honestly, AI art and, well, AI-generated images and AI-generated character designs are kind of hard to read, and whenever you do redesign them, they will look similar but not exact to the original, and I kind of went out of my way to take elements from it and add them to a completely original character design, and I definitely dropped the ball with that video. The reason that I didn't really see an issue with it was because I had seen similar videos with similar intentions and similar stuff performing well, so I didn't really think that there was an issue in doing that, and I am really sorry about that. There was a reply to the comment that said that a greater issue, or at least another issue that should be brought up, is that it is impossible to credit the original artist that the AI generated image was stealing from, which I do agree with. I actually ironically brought that up in the video, that you cannot credit the original artist because because many artists were scraped to create generative AI, and I am very sorry for dropping the ball. I will try to do better handling similar topics in the future if I do make another video like that. I will keep using Ashley and Colin because I have actually grown pretty attached to their story and their characters, though I may venture to redesign them. I redesign OCs all the time. It's not a problem for me to redesign an OC or a duo of OCs that have a problematic tone to them, because I did design them based off of AI generated imagery. And I will be leaving the video up. I don't think there's any reason to take it down and to run from that minor mistake that I made. And I also feel like it is still very informative, and I am not exactly proud of the video, but I do think that the points that I made still need to be there. Though even with that, I am still sorry that I did make that mistake, and it will not happen again. That marks the end of this video. I would like to sign off with a question of the day. If you were a witch in 1985, what would you use your magic for? And where would your star-shaped birthmark be placed? I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, night, or afternoon wherever you are. Stay hydrated, take breaks, and remember to love yourself. Bye-bye, everybody!